Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to ETD React. It is your boy King David, and y'all, today I'm talking about these Chinese researchers who were caught in the United States for smuggling some kind of fungus that can kill crops in agriculture. So this stuff is pretty crazy. We're gonna hop straight into this news video, and I'm gonna give my thoughts about it and spread some wisdom. So let's check this out.
Nationals are charged with smuggling a crop-killing fungus into the U.S. that authorities say is a potential agro-terrorism weapon. One of the suspects, a researcher at the University of Michigan, was arrested in the state yesterday. The charges come as the Trump administration clamps down on Chinese students coming to the U.S. Correspondent Alex Capriello is live at the University of Ann Arbor with the details. So, Alex, what more are you learning now about the suspects?
Yeah, hey there, Kelly. Federal officials say that they are two Chinese nationals, that they're loyal to the Chinese Communist Party, and that their research had been funded in part by the People's Republic of China, that they had been using University of Michigan laboratories to breed and conduct experiments on a very dangerous fungus that is capable of wiping out billions of dollars worth of our American agricultural industry. For that reason and more, they've now been charged with conspiracy for smuggling it across the United States borders, and then after that, lying about it to these federal authorities. Now, this is the mastermind behind it all, according to the FBI.
Bro, she looks so innocent.
Young Qinjian, according to her University of Michigan bio, she's been working at the school's lab since 2022, studying fungi and molecular plant microbes. But the Justice Department uncovered a lot more than that. Specifically, using digital forensics, the feds were able to find a pledge that Jian had made to the Chinese Communist Party, describing her loyalty to the dictatorship, and also detailing her research, which investigators found the Chinese government had invested tens of thousands of dollars into. This is what that dangerous fungi looks like. These pictures taken by Customs and Border Protection at the Detroit Metro Airport when her boyfriend, 34-year-old Zhongyang Liu, tried to smuggle it in. Scientists classify it as an agro-terrorism weapon, capable of spreading infectious disease to wheat, barley, corn, and rice, and making both humans and animals extremely sick. When their phones were confiscated, a number of damning text message chains were uncovered, including some that were recently deleted. One shows the great lengths the two went through to hide the fungi when transporting it from China to the United States, writing to be careful when going through security, and that their teacher's seeds must be placed well, with one of the conspirators confirming they placed it in their shoes in their airport luggage. This criminal complaint now has the attention of both federal officials, the Justice Department, as well as Capitol Hill. The director of the FBI, Kash Patel, says these are the lengths that the Chinese Communist Party is going through to infiltrate American institutions, target our food supply, and put American lives at risk. Kelly?
Yeah, certainly alarming. So, Alex, what do we know about this fungus? How does it endanger crops?
Yeah, that's a great question. Its scientific name is called Fusarium graminearum. And again, just to underscore the threat that it poses to our agriculture industry, it is literally classified by scientists as an agro-terrorism weapon. It's often the culprit behind disease that actually infiltrates farms, causing something called head blight, which directly impacts a lot of our American crops. So when it actually attacks farms, it has the potential to significantly kill or diminish the overall quality and quantity of our crops. The food is essentially poisoned for human consumption or even to feed livestock. And if it does make it into human or animal bodies, it can cause vomiting, liver damage, and reproduction defects. And there are very strict USDA regulations about who can actually carry this type of fungus, who can study it inside laboratories. But however, in this criminal complaint, it really alleges that these two suspects from the People's Republic of China, this was their focus at their university in China before coming here to the United States.
Yeah,
Kelly.
A hair-raising case. All right, Alex Capriello, thank you very much.
Dude, this is serious. Look, there's a couple things I want to address here. I'm going to try to be concise with y'all. First thing, man, I know I have a friend that's dear to my heart who actually ate basically some molded food, and I know he told me about the stuff he was dealing with in his stomach and whatnot, and I'm telling y'all, we don't want anything to do with any kind of fungus, any kind of mold. That stuff is very serious. And here's the thing, our food supply they're already pumping all these kind of chemicals into our food. We're already eating garbage, basically. I mean, they're already poisoning us. But you're talking about a bio weapon to really, I mean, take out our crops and everything. I mean, that's a whole other level. You know, it's one thing that our government's already injecting all of our food with chemicals and trying to send us to the pharmacies, and they're all making the same money. Anywho, but before I get further into this, the more important aspect of this here is what's in the scriptures. Because in Mark 13, so this is when Jesus is talking about his second coming. He's talking about all the things that are going to happen before he comes back, before the rapture, basically describing the tribulation and whatnot. And there's two specific verses I'm going to highlight for y'all. This is Mark 13, verse 7 and 8. So he says, "And you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Nation will go to war against nation and kingdom against kingdom." Really think about everything that's going along here. But this is the kicker. "There will be earthquakes in many parts of the world, as well as famines. But this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come." Now, here's the thing. He talks about wars, rumors, and wars. People are like, oh, there's always wars going on. It's like, bro, but if you really look around, it's around the whole globe right now. You know, you got the Israel conflict, got the Ukraine-Russian conflict, you got the Chinese and Taiwan people, the India, Pakistan. Like, there's so much going on. But when you talk about famines, that's very specific to say, okay, earthquakes, natural disasters, I get that. He says there'll be famine in many parts of the world. That's a very specific thing. And, you know, we could argue wars, earthquakes. Yeah, we already see that. Yo, really imagine global famines. Like, that hasn't happened yet. But that will happen. That has to happen before Jesus comes back. And now let's bring this back to China. So China, I mean, here's the thing, because you have to look at motive. We just basically had a little mini trade war. I don't know if the word mini does it justice, but we just had a whole mini economic trade war with China. They did not like that. They did not treat their economy well. Obviously, China, because here's the thing, America, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but just bear with me here. So America is basically the top dog nation, and China wants that spot. China wants to be the strongest country in the world. They want to be in America's spot. So we're their number one enemy. You know, we're like their long-term goal. They don't want to fight us militarily because that would be messy. You know, we just saw what happened in economics. The only other things that I can think of that is likely for China to attack us is our power grid and our food supply. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't even thinking about the food supply. I was just thinking about the power grid. I was expecting Chinese to just EMP us, lose power across the whole country, and war pops off, whatever. But if they attack our food supply and hit us with a biochemical warfare, I don't think we're ready for that. You know, but that's what it sounds like we just stopped them in their tracks. So if that's what they were about to do, and probably still have backup plans, and they've been planning this for a while. So y'all, I'm just saying, we can't keep our heads in the dirt and think everything's gonna be peachy creamy. You know, we have to realize we're in the end times. It's what it is, you know, and it's very likely for China or other countries, but most likely China, to attack our power grid, to attack our food supply. So I'm not saying this out of fear, I'm saying this out of knowledge. So you have knowledge and awareness, and you can seek the Lord and see how he wants for you to plan and, you know, do different stuff. But yeah, y'all, so this is a very serious thing going on, and we're gonna see, because I think China they're getting in a corner, because Trump is kind of successfully pinning Putin against China, because Putin is like China's, you know, one of their best allies. And if they don't have Russia on their side, China's going to start doing some crazy moves. And I think this is a crazy move that they were planning to do, and they could still be planning. I mean, it's not like we shut their whole program down, but now we know, oh snap, like China's going to pop off. But anywho, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video today. I hope this blessed you. Hope it kind of opened your eyes up. You know, maybe you didn't hear about this. But yeah, anywho, I love y'all. God bless y'all. Peace out.